there everyone, welcome back to another video about a children's trading card game. Gate Ruler has just released as of when you're seeing this video in English, and I'm sure you're very excited to try it out, but perhaps you're not 100% sure what decks you should build. Well, I have got a list of just about 10 decks here, as you could no doubt tell from the title, that I'm going to talk through, and essentially going through pretty much every single colour combination, as well as an even mix of Apprentice and Knight decks for you to try out, with a little aside at the end that I think you should pay some consideration to, assuming you have bought a few boxes, which I would highly recommend you do. The pull rates on those things are quite good. But let's get started with our list. So there's no particular order to these, but what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to give you the color combination, tell you a little bit about the deck, and give you some sort of indication as to how good it is. So the first one here is going to be pink red. That is I should say, I'm going to refer to each of the factions as their color besides X Vader, because X Vader is X Vader, and the decks that use X Vader are just a little bit worse in general, just because X Vader doesn't really add much. So you're very much like using whatever you've got within that primary faction, with basically supplementing it with like Destiny Sword and maybe some White Bone Princess. But anyway, so pink is Wonderverse, red is Yomajin Front, yellow is Volnar, blue is Atlas, and then black is X Vader. I interchange those two. So, pink red, a suggestion here, you can either go down this good stuff route or this robo route. They're fairly similar in set 1, and that is Apprentice. And this is a really great place to start. I've started here. This is one of the top decks you can build. Basically, you play really powerful cards like Gashadokuro, like a Solar System Backpacker, like Zap Zap Zap. You play these very powerful cards. And the goal is just to outvalue your opponent. Now, if you're playing the Robo build here, you can also include things like Emergency Recombination, Galak, things like that. If you're just playing the good stuff build, then you don't necessarily have to worry about those cuter combos, and you can essentially just go for full-on value town, basically doing everything you can to get value, really, to play the most valuable cards. In terms of Haunting, Tatarija, I'm still used to calling it Haunting. In terms of Tatarija, I would say that personally I like playing 4. I'm the Giga Chad. I don't care if I drive him. I think 4 is the way to go, but it's totally up to you. The deck is very powerful, so you'll probably see success no matter where you go. And as I say, that's an Apprentice list, and that's definitely one of the better decks you can build in set 1. If you choose to, and it is expensive, I will say that, you need some you need Zaps, you need 1,000-year cherry trees, you need Gashidokuros. Those are not going to be cheap, but if you get all those together, you're going to have a fun time absolutely ruffle stomping the 6-year-old at your locals. Next, we have got pink yellow, and this is another good stuff build, really relying on pink more than anything here, but you get to use these powerful yellow cards like Dispel. Flying Shield is a very nice card. You can use Magvarius if you want as one of your legends. You're supplementing the incredible card quality that pink gets out the gate with some really, really nice yellow sort of fillers in filling the holes that yellow filling the holes that pink has. This is another Apprentice deck. You could take this down the Knight route, but personally I would probably lean towards Apprentice. I think that's the way to go for something like this. And this isn't super strong, but if you're a fan of Wonderverse and you're a fan of Volnar, know that you absolutely can mash those two together in a value-focused deck, and you will see some success. It's a fun time. I've tried it out myself. It works reasonably well. It's not as good as pink red, but few things are. Next, we're going to have pink blue, and this is going to be our first Knight deck I'm talking about here, and this is a burn control deck. So here, you want to be using things like Zap 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 in combination with Guns and Gold Armory. You want to be using Hellkong. You want to be using the Zoo package, the Zoo engine, all of that lovely support together. There's a lot of very, very nice burn tools in blue and in pink that you can take advantage of, and it's a really nice control deck. filled to the brim with ways to make your opponent hate you, essentially. Highly recommended. There's some really powerful cards. You know, Rampart Elephant, and Rampart Elephant combined with I didn't even feel that is basically a card that is not dying and your opponent is just gonna hate it. So yeah, I highly recommend that. This is better than definitely better than Pink Yellow. Probably comparable to Pink Red. It's not quite as good, but it is strong. You will see success with this deck, absolutely. And I should say, when I say like a deck is bad, the Gate Ruler standards are bad, especially in set 1. Are, you know, you can still win with it. It just it's like a 60-40 or 65-35 rather than like, you know, a 80-20 that you might see in other card games. In set 1, set 1's really quite well balanced, by and large. So yeah. And then Pink X Vader or Pink Black. This is again just going to be a good stuff build, essentially just with Destiny Sword. This is pretty much like playing Mono Pink. Definitely one of the weakest combos you could do. But hey, man, if you want to play some X Vader, I ain't going to stop you. There are some powerful counters you can include there. You know, you can go 4 Bone Princess, 4 Destiny Sword, 4 Zap, and that is 12 ways your opponent is going to be put on some antidepressants. So yeah, I would highly recommend giving that a go, just for fun. So next we have got Red Yellow, and this is going to be a classic combination that's you're going to see much like Pink Red Apprentice. Red Yellow Knight is a classic combination you're going to see getting support in set 2 and definitely into the future. It's like a main thing, and that's because it is the Genesis summon combination. So you've got some really nice tools for between both. You know, Shiori is amazing. You've got your familiars between both that are going to make Genesis summoning really easy. You've got some really nice tools in Red, in terms of defense, in terms of interaction, which are really nice. So yeah, this is a very solid Knight deck to build. I recommend giving it a go. It's one downside is it is relatively expensive, because obviously at the time of recording I don't know how expensive a lot of these cards are going to be. However, going off of Japan, cards like Shiori are quite expensive, relatively speaking. So, you know, there's a reasonable number of 4 stars you do want to be playing in this deck, like Albafort, for example, that do bump the price up. It's certainly not the cheapest Knight deck, but I assure you it's a hell of a lot cheaper than Pink Red Apprentice. So yeah, it's a solid deck. I think it was slept on quite a lot in set 1 in Japan, because everyone was just going Ooga Booga Apprentice. Next, we have got Red Blue, and this is my personal favourite deck in set 1, and it is a pure control, just good stuff, value town build. You play stuff like your Rampart Elephants, you play your Vanillas, you get access to your Kamaitachi, the Joe of the Kamaitachi, you just got loads of cool stuff that you can play. Highly recommend you give this deck a go. It's a powerful one. This is like damn close to as good as Knight gets. It can go toe to toe with Apprentice. It's strong. I highly recommend you give this a go if you want to be learning Knight. This is a fun way to do it. Just focus on value, and you will arrive at a solid list in no time. And then of course we've got Red X Vader, and I would say this is again an Apprentice deck. It's a control good stuff deck. Again, you want to be doing stuff with your little trickies in red, and you got your ridiculous removal in black, and it can be fun. But I think this is probably the weakest combination in it's up there in terms of being weak. But again, if you want to use the Japanese aesthetic with Psycho Invader Demons, hey man, you do you. It can be done, and pretty much any combination here can be done. These are only 11 decks I'm going to be suggesting, 12 I suppose, maybe 13, depending on how you want to classify the last one. But there are, I would say, about 40 to 50 decks you could build in set 1, including monocolors. Not saying and depending on like how much you distinguish between the same color, how different that is, because I would say Robos and good stuff are distinct in red pink, for example, but yeah, there's at least like 20 actual like distinctive decks, and at least 10, as I say here, ones that are good. I haven't said all the good ones here. I just wanted to provide options in terms of combinations, because I know people are interested in different things. Anyway, I probably should have said that at the start. Let's get back on track. with yellow, blue, and this is Darkness. Full disclosure, I think this deck is absolutely terrible in set 1. Terrible by, you know, set 1 standards. It's just difficult to win with. I just think that if you play it, you're going to be fighting for your life permanently, and you will win. It's not like you won't, but every single win is going to feel close as hell. Granted, every single loss is going to feel close as hell, besides the 50% of the losses that do not feel close at all. Those will be an issue. But certainly, you know, it's the starter deck. You can upgrade it fairly easily, and if you want to see how to do that, well, you should check out a video that if you haven't seen already, if it's not already up on the channel, I will card it up there. I suggest you go check that out. But yeah, Darkness, classic combo though. In set 2, it's very strong. You can look on my channel. I'm going to stop carding things because there'll probably be like 50 up there. You can look on my channel for my set 2 Darkness deck profile, and that deck is good. That deck is top tier in set 2, that's for sure. So definitely not a bad thing to invest in now to get comfortable with on the ground floor. I just would advise not making it your main deck unless you really are a massive masochist. Next, yellow X Vader. Again, you can go for this control build. X Vader, you've heard the spiel. I would not advise it. X Vader's not really adding much. It's basically playing like vanilla Volnar. Anyway, penultimate deck is going to be blue X Vader, and here is the first actual X Vader deck. This is a hard control hell deck that the entire goal is just to make your opponent suffer. You want to be playing 4 Buster Arm. You want to be playing 4 Destiny Sword, and either 4 Bone Princess or 4 Hellkong or 2/2, it's up to you. And you want to be playing 4 Alice just as your defensive tool in terms of the counters. And the whole goal is just to play loads of vanillas in blue, a couple of chuck in the vanilla from black, loads of value stuff, and every single time you hit a counter, your opponent is going to cry. That's the goal. And it works surprisingly well. You'll definitely have a lot of fun with opponents just. Yeah, if you want to tilt people, play this deck. I would advise playing this deck to tilt people. It's fun. Don't play it too much. It's probably bad for your health because I won't lie, when I played against it, I was this close to reaching through the computer screen and bashing a head against a keyboard. So, yeah. And the final deck I want to mention, you'll know that was a knight deck, by the way. The final thing I want to mention is Highlander. You might notice I haven't mentioned Highlander. Highlander is really, really good in set 1. Do not sleep on Highlander. It's very, very playable. It's hard. It's not like the best deck or anything, but it's very, like, you know, you can take it to locals and you will not lose every game. You will have fun. You will be able to play the game, and you'll be able to have close games. I really do recommend giving Highlander a go. I'm a massive proponent of it. You can check out my Highlander deck profile for set 1. I believe in set 1 I was playing pink, red, yellow, but you can absolutely play pink, red, black, or pink, red, blue. I do think pink, red is pretty essential though, because it is a drive-based deck. Of course, there are other ways you can take it. There are, you know, loads of, whatever 5 choose 3 is. 10? I don't know. I haven't done that in a while. Anyway, I highly recommend you do Highlander. And a really nice thing is, you will probably have enough spares out of a single box to just build a Highlander deck. And if you get 2, you should have enough to build 2, like, very easily. The pull rates in this game are great, and you get a lot of stuff in the box. So, you know, the fact that you just get a Highlander deck as a bonus for free is pretty cool. But there we go. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like the video. If you want to pick up some Gate Ruler product, please use my affiliate link in the description to help support the channel. I'd really appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel for more Gate Ruler content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.